This is WKYT This Morning.
Good Friday morning to you. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
I'm Bill Bryant. Just when you thought it wouldn't get here, it is Friday, April 15th. Glad you're with us this morning.
Now at 6 o'clock, weeks of talks and threats come down today. We're live in Frankfort, where lawmakers will vote on a newly agreed upon budget today.
They'll take some other action as well, and state police make an arrest in a Kentucky teenager's murder. And the suspect is another teen.
And UK fans are in for a special treat. Details on the surprise guest at today's Maker's Mark bottle signing at Keeneland.
Temperatures across the region, we're sitting there in the 40s and 50s. It's actually a pretty decent feel this morning. Get off into your afternoon. We'll be in the 70s for all. Really nice day in store, but could we see a stray shower? I'm going to talk all about that in just about 10 minutes.
Latest from WKYT News. We begin with a breaking news alert this morning. Several crews are at the scene of a large fire that's going on right now in Montgomery County. Now, this scene is off of Willoughby Town Road, and it is about 5 miles south of Jeffersonville. We're told it is a barn. It caught fire about 4:30 this morning, and you can see from this live picture we have just established there is not much left of that building there. According to the property owner, the barn mostly had farming equipment inside, but it also housed some baby chickens. That is what we are learning at this moment.
Now, we still don't know the cause of that fire. The property owner says a heat lamp may be to blame. But
certainly quite a response this morning in rural Montgomery County as crews are at the scene of this large fire on a farm there.
The 2016 legislative session comes to a close today, but there is still one big issue that needs to be resolved.
Yeah, today lawmakers will vote on the just agreed upon two-year budget. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Frankfort to explain what we expect at the state capitol today. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. The full House and the full Senate will meet at noon today to decide if they will give final approval to the budget deal. Now, the bitter budget battle among party leaders finally ended about 24 hours ago in what House leadership called an effective blend, really, of the governor's budget proposal and the two chambers' budgets. Now, since the lawmakers did not strike a deal until the last possible day for them to do so, they will not have the power to override any vetoes from Governor Matt Bevin. Through sweeping cuts to state agencies, the bill would give $1 billion back to the state's pension fund, which is something the governor wanted to see. The measure is a patchwork of compromise, and it includes 4.5% spending cuts for public colleges and universities. Kentucky State University is exempt from those cuts, however, because they are struggling financially. The bill would also give state police a raise, and it would not cut funding for Planned Parenthood. House Speaker Greg Stumbo says he would be surprised if the governor finds many issues with the budget. He hopes Bevin will consider the amount of compromise that went into the budget before he vetoes any lines from the bill. Now, this legislative session that has really been marked by a tumultuous flurry of drawn-out deadlock and quick compromises will end when the House and the Senate adjourn today. Now, if they do pass a budget today, the governor would then have 10 days to either sign the budget or veto the bill. Live in Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. We'll see how it goes today, and we'll cover it all on WKYT News. Well, family members of a murdered Mercer County teenager are hoping now to learn a possible motive now that police have made an arrest. State police say 17-year-old Tristan Cole was found shot to death Wednesday night in a Mercer County field. And they say another teenager is charged with murder and robbery in the case. Cole's cousin says he was a good kid who liked to go hunting and fishing with his family.
It's sickening, just heart sickening to think, that you don't know if your child's going to come home.
And Cole's family is asking for help in paying for his funeral expenses this morning. You can find a link on how to donate to that at WKYT.com.
Police arrested an Ohio man who is accused of coming to Kentucky to have sex with a minor. Jeffrey Gill was arrested in Georgetown. The Kentucky Attorney General's office says he posted an ad online saying he was looking for a young teen for sex. They say an undercover officer posed as a teenager and responded. Investigators say when they arrested Gill in the parking lot of a Georgetown Dairy Queen, they found prescription drugs and marijuana in his truck. They also say he had rented a room in Georgetown for the purpose of having sex with a teen. In Clay County, a woman was killed in a lawnmower accident. It happened outside a home on Sadler Road, north of Manchester. The coroner says 60-year-old Uma Bird died after her riding lawnmower rolled over a small embankment. The coroner says family members told him that Bird enjoyed mowing, and this was her first time doing so this year.
Other news this morning, a man accused of being drunk at the time of a deadly crash in Whitley County has faced alcohol-related charges before. Adam Childers was arrested this week after police say he crashed into and killed Richard Perkins on Highway 25, what is known as Town Hill in Williamsburg. He is charged with those things. He has pled not guilty to murder, DUI, and leaving the scene of an accident. Court records show that between 2008 and 2010, police arrested Childers for 3 DUIs and for public intoxication. Investigators say he also resigned from his job at the Whitley County Jail last year after allegedly being drunk on the job.
Surveillance video appears to show a man arming himself with a gun before stealing from a Shelby County store. Shelbyville police say the man appears to load the gun before walking into the store. They say he went into an office, took cartons of cigarettes and a purse before leaving. Police say workers at the store didn't even know what had happened until they looked at the surveillance video later in the day. Police have not made any arrests. Fans of UK basketball and bourbon have been camped out all night at Keeneland.
Yeah, they're out there to get a special Maker's Mark bottle signed by some UK basketball legends, including a surprise guest who's walking in this morning. And WKYT's Mike Byer is live at Keeneland to explain. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. That's right. Bourbon and UK legends. That seems to be the theme here this morning at Keeneland. There is plenty of excitement in the air. Hundreds of people are all lined up and ready to get their commemorative bottles of Maker's Mark signed this morning. Now the event goes from 7:30 to 11:30 right here at the Keene Barn and Entertainment Center. Signing the bottles this morning will be former UK basketball coach Joe Hall and 4 of his players from the 1978 NCAA championship team. Those players are Jack Givens, James Lee, Kyle Macy, and Rick Roby. They'll be signing Maker's Mark UK commemorative bottles that were purchased last week. Joining this group and also signing will be Maker's Mark Chief Operating Officer Rob Samuels and Keeneland President and CEO Bill Thomason. Now, I recently spoke with a man who started lining up here on Thursday. We're going to hear from him coming up on WKYT News at 6:30. In the meantime, the line is starting to move. People are getting ready to go inside to the main lobby where they will get their commemorative bottles of Maker's Mark signed. That's the latest here at Keeneland. I'm Mike Byer, WKYT.
And it's so cool, you know, to see the coach coming in. You know, Kyle Macy was with us the other day talking about this event coming up, and said, you know, Coach Hall still slightly intimidates you.
I know, he has that presence, and it's always cool to see him.
Oh, he's a great guy, and it's certainly been a treasure to have around all these years. Our time this morning is 6:08.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have the cloud cover overhead for some sections, and that cloud cover is a great outline to show you where I expect the chance of rain today. It's setting up right across the southern half and also right along that 64 corridor. So where you see the clouds right now, if I built a graphic, which I do have a graphic coming up just about 30 seconds, but that is exactly where I expect this rain, right through here. So that's where the energy is located. It's not much, I can tell you that. I mean, we're talking about a 20% chance of rain today, and that's it. So 80% of us stay dry, don't cancel any plans, stick to them. It will be a really nice day for most. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. Early this morning, it's slightly chilly, but not really. We get into the afternoon, 72 degrees. Really good feel in the forecast with a mixture of sun and clouds. Today will be an awesome day, I promise you that. Even if you get a sprinkle or a light shower over you, trust me, it doesn't last long. It moves on and goes and ruins somebody else's 5 minutes during the day. Then we head off into the evening. In the evening time, if you're heading out to eat, if you got any plans later on this evening, going to any events, looks perfect. Once that sun does set, then we'll see any rain that's out there, which remember, it's a small chance of that, will be long gone. So here's the breakdown. Where the clouds are set up, I showed you that earlier. Look where we're expecting that small chance of rain, 20 to 30%. And it's just like yesterday. If you have any friends or family down south, call them and say, hey, how much rain did you get? They're going to say not much, if any at all, because it's just not widespread. It's a blip here or there, and if you do get it over you, you're talking about 0.05 inches of rain. That is not a lot, so stick to those plans. It'll be really nice. I just don't want you to be surprised, see any water fall out of the sky. We go off into your weekend, 74 degrees. Awesome day there in the forecast on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday for Keeneland or any events later on this weekend, it's perfect weather. No rain in the forecast. Temperatures in the mid-70s. I mean, this is a really, really nice feel, and we head towards your next week, and I don't see any chance of having those temperatures really to be messed with. They're really not going to change all that much as we head towards your next week either. So temperatures are good to go, and it looks like the rain chance, if we do see a rain chance, it's going to be late into the week next week. So all looks well the next several days.
I'm very distracted.
Yeah.
You've got to show them your socks.
My socks this morning,
Are
Bam.
those lemons?
They're lemons. I love crazy socks because when I get tired in the morning, I look down, I'm like, hey, those are bright and cool.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I see these bright blue socks walking across.
You should see me run across the studio,
Oh,
man.
you're
It's
awesome. Thank you so much. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening on the roads. Officer Don, you're missing out on these socks that Mike is wearing.
Yeah, you know, it smells much better from here. I know that, so I'll just stay right where I'm at. No wrecks right now. The traffic looks good on the circle and the interstate. Let's get a look outside and we'll show you what's happening as far as overall traffic view this morning and traffic flow. And no problems. We should be good to go. Inbound Nicholasville Road, Harrodsburg Road's in pretty good shape too. And on the north side, so far, no collisions. Now, as far as our drive times are concerned, with no wrecks in the way, it should be about normal coming in from Nicholasville, about 12 minutes or so. Also looking good right now from Paris, and no problems coming in from Clark County on 64. Now back to you guys.
All right, all is good. And Mike is going to post the picture, you know, on social media.
Yes, and it's not stinking, by the way. Not at all.
Okay,
You're welcome.
I'll retweet that, minus any smells. But some of us have shoes, by the way.
Yes, yes, we do.
6:12 on WKYT this morning. Great to have you along. And more news is on the way.
A look at the devastation caused by a massive earthquake in Japan and a story of survival.
Back and forth fireworks from start to finish at the Democratic debate. I'm Jamie Yukas in Brooklyn, New York, with what you'll be talking about this morning.
Welcome back in. Great to have you with us Friday morning. It is 6:16 right now.
This morning, a new poll from CBS News shows Hillary Clinton leading Bernie Sanders by 6% in the race for the Democratic nomination nationally.
The two presidential candidates made their final pitches to voters in New York in a fiery debate last night. Jamie Yukas kicks off our campaign 2016 coverage.
One of the most heated exchanges of the night came as Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton sparred over the issue of income inequality.
I am sure a lot of people are very surprised to learn that you supported raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
You know, wait a minute. I have stood on the debate stage with Senator Sanders 8 prior times.
Excuse me.
I have said the
Secretary,
exact same
Senator,
thing.
please.
Google says the Vermont senator was the most searched and most followed candidate of the night. In one instance, he pounced on Clinton after moderators pressed her to release the transcripts of her paid Wall Street speeches.
If everybody agrees to do it, because there are speeches for money on the other side, I know that.
I am going to release all of the transcripts of the speeches that I gave on Wall Street behind closed doors. There were no speeches.
The stakes are high for Sanders and Clinton here in New York, with 247 delegates on the line. Both candidates are vowing to fight all the way to the convention.
I think we're going to win this nomination, to tell you the truth.
A win for Clinton in the state would make it mathematically difficult for Sanders to catch up. Party leaders say now is the time to come together.
I believe Hillary's going to win, and I believe there will be unity.
The next big prize for Democrats is Pennsylvania, where 210 delegates are at stake. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, New York.
Now, the latest CBS News poll also finds that in a potential November matchup among the current presidential candidates, Hillary Clinton beats Donald Trump by 10 points among registered voters. Bernie Sanders wins against all three Republican candidates, beating both Trump and Cruz by double digits and edging out Kasich by 5 points. At a state GOP gala in New York last night, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump delivered an impassioned defense of the city he calls home. Trump praised the city's response to the nation's deadliest terrorist attacks and took a jab at rival Ted Cruz, who has repeatedly condemned Trump and his New York values. Outside the gala, protesters hung an effigy of Trump.
Today marks 3 years since the Boston Marathon bombings. 3 people were killed, 260 injured. The day will be marked with a wreath-laying ceremony at the marathon finish line on Bolston Street. At 2:49 this afternoon, there will be a moment of silence to mark the moment the first of 2 pressure cooker bombs detonated near the end of the race. About 30,000 runners are expected to take part in this year's race on Monday. Aftershocks continue to rattle southern Japan, where a 6.5 magnitude earthquake hit. 9 people were killed and about 800 injured. This morning, rescuers pulled an infant from the rubble. Japan's prime minister says the government wants to prevent any secondary disasters from the aftershocks. Video of a newsroom in Japan shows the violent moments that the quake struck. Japan says there is no danger of a tsunami.
Our time this morning is 6:19 here on WKYT, and today is April 15th, but this year you have a couple of extra days to file your tax returns. They are due on Monday, April 18th. The deadline was pushed back because today is Emancipation Day. Wallet Hub says Americans spend an average 16 hours doing their taxes. It's a task so dreaded, 27% of people surveyed said they would get an IRS tattoo if they could avoid taxes for life. There you go. All right, many Americans say they prefer lower prices instead of paying more for items that are labeled made in the USA. According to an Associated Press poll this morning, nearly 3 out of 4 of those surveyed said that they would like to buy goods manufactured in the United States. But those items are often too expensive, they say. Just 9% say they only buy American. This is something we almost never hear about. An airline is actually dropping one of those annoying fees. Delta will no longer charge customers an extra $25 fee for buying plane tickets over the phone. Delta says it doesn't want customers to worry about fees when buying a ticket. There you go. So there is a little bit of a change in the consumer's favor.
I'm still hung up on the idea of people getting tattoos of the IRS.
Said they would do that if they could avoid taxes, right? Yeah.
Very interesting. WKYT this morning is just getting started. An ape's great escape. How a chimpanzee spent the day on the street after escaping from a zoo.
Looking down south, because down south is where we're going to be seeing a little energy head our direction today. Slight chance of rain this weekend. Incredibly awesome. I'm going to show you that forecast coming up next.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 6:24. Crews are on the scene of a large fire in Montgomery County.
And that's what's trending at this hour. We have video from the scene. The fire has destroyed a barn south of Jeffersonville. This is off of Willoughby Town Road there in Montgomery County. The property owner says the barn mostly had farming equipment inside, but it also housed lots of chickens, apparently including some baby chickens. So that certainly is sad this morning because obviously many of those have perished in that fire this morning.
This is the last day of the 2016 Kentucky General Assembly. Today's lawmakers are expected to vote on a 2-year, $21 billion budget deal that's been worked out by leaders in the House and the Senate.
This is the forecast we have been waiting for. Spring has sprung again in Kentucky, Micah.
Extremely nice. Even with those temperatures, you know, in the 70s, and also a little bit of cloud cover around, maybe even a slight chance of rain. You're talking about a great forecast in store. Clouds overhead at this moment. Don't expect any rain this morning. Afternoon, there is a slight chance. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, and that slight chance is like your summer afternoon where you get the heating going on, you get a pop-up shower, and that's it. So your emoji cast, the way you're going to feel later on today, you'll love this weather. 72. Most stay dry, guys, but like I said, can't rule out a stray shower here or there.
It's always fun when you have those smiling emojis,
yes,
you know, and the sunshine out there. Right. 6:26 right now. A 24-year-old chimpanzee had a fun day out on the town in Japan.
Yeah, imagine driving around seeing this. The chimp named Cha-Cha escaped from a zoo in northern Japan and was loose for more than an hour. Eventually, Cha-Cha climbed an electrical pole where he was then shot with a sedative. Officials captured the chimp when he lost strength and fell from that pole. Now they're investigating how Cha-Cha was able to slide out of the zoo.
Well, it looks like he can maneuver pretty well. Yeah. You know, I don't know if 24 is old for one of those, but
Pretty impressive sight to see.
He's doing great. Hey, it's great to have you with us on WKYT, and it is your Friday, and we're back with a lot more news in just a moment.
When WKYT this morning returns, the NAACP says it's not satisfied with how a Lexington high school is handling alleged racist threats against students. What they're now calling for coming up at 6:30.
We'll be going back out live to Keeneland this morning, where the bottle signing is underway. Some UK legends are there. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $80 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $205 million. Stay here on WKYT.